heart attack. Fast, fatal, hard impact. Past painful scars, in fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new submerged juice. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out, remember you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kyusho here, and now, before we do begin, I do want to say a few things about the last part. In the last part, we had Deku and Amelia, who they've been married for 2 years. A little over that, actually. And they were in the process of making it legitimate by Earth standards. Now, not only was this a show that Etsos and humans do have a future together, they've also revealed the fact that they can, co-inhabitate, or, well, repopulate with each other. Now, humanity, they are still surprised by this news. And later that day, Deku and Amelia, their reception was attacked. That was whenever Deku, he tried to hold off the Trequa, while Amelia got to safety. She was injured in the process. However, it was seen as a little less severe. Now, Deku, he's gone to the council, talked to them, and they are willing to help humanity as an ally. However, Deku, he is concerned. There have been 2 Trequa on Earth already, and right now there's a 3rd one. He knows there has to be. Their operations are strange and weird to him. He's still trying to understand much of what he's seen. However, these things, the Trequa, there's got to be another one here. He knows that for a fact. They wouldn't just send 2 here this time. They wouldn't just take a small precaution like that. They would send in an entire unit. There's got to be at least 2 more, at the very least 1 more Trequa here on Earth. And right now he wants to work on weeding them out. Now, Deku, he is actually able to track the Trequa. However, he doesn't understand how that ability exactly does work. And right now, he does want to understand it. And we do currently have where Deku is standing in front of a lot of people who are of high importance. The people of the world government. The people who represent entire nations. And many of them, they want to know exactly why Deku has asked to see them. Because usually, they're the ones who do call for him, since he is actually the Etso advisor and current, royal king. Now, Deku, he does try to explain to them that his status as king hasn't actually been instated, and that while he would be marrying the Etso queen, there is still much up in the air about exactly what that would mean for a human to have a title from another planet. And the people of the world government, they do at least try and tell Deku about how exactly that may affect it, and exactly what type of pull and leeway he actually would have with the Etsos. Since many of them, they are still somewhat suspicious as to human law and many things. They don't fully understand what it does mean to be on their planet. And Deku, he does try to explain that to them. And everybody, they do want to know exactly why Deku called them here. Once again, talking about how some of them, they have things to do. And Deku would try to explain. He wants everybody currently here in the room to help. Right now, he has access to certain things that the Dratix craft had on record. And a lot of them, they actually are surprised. Them going to look around as many of the other holograms do so. And Deku, he does at least stare at that, expressing to many of them. Right now, he wants them to know. He has access to Dratix coordinates, and he doesn't exactly know if it's a supply drop, supply chain, or an outpost. Something that would give them an access point or even a way to attack the enemy that have been coming to Earth. Now, a lot of people, they are confused. Deku wants to attack a something that Dratix know is there. And from what they do understand, a Dratix is the pilot of the military vehicle he stole. However, this enemy that's on Earth, they are Trequa. So why exactly is he bringing them up? Some people are actually going to ask the question about the Trequa to Deku, asking if he does believe that all the Trequa on Earth have actually been destroyed or taken down. And Deku does try to explain. He does not believe that to be so. However, he does want all of them to understand this current idea. Carry Trequa weapons. Carry weapons that can kill them. If anyone here does appear to be acting strangely, or anyone they know close to them is acting strangely, be careful. Along with that, also do be advised. Give the same warning to a lot of people. And he wants them all to understand the current sentence he's about to say. He wants them to actually both go after the Drake's, coordinates and try and kill the Trequa. And all of humanity, the representatives, right now, for each country, they're currently stunned. And they actually want to know exactly why he wants to try and do both operations. And he does try to explain. He wants to only give them half of the idea and half of the plan. Because if they know the other half, then it's not really going to be a foolproof plan. And many of them, they're all confused by what he's talking about. And Deku would try to explain this. Right now, all they need to know is that they need to send out the mission for the Trequa, coordinates. Now, everybody need to go to listen to that. The way he said that, he put emphasis on that word. Okay, they're listening now. Now, Deku will continue. He wants them to set coordinates for the Trequa station. And he wants them to know that they're going to go after it. He wants a ship that would allow him to actually head there. And he does still have access to his Drake's craft. If he does head there, especially with the current upgraded, stuff, and the right crew, maybe him and them can actually hit a blow to the Drake's and take it out. And a lot of people, they do notice what Deku's doing. He's using certain words and certain phrases. And he's actually at least going a bit off of the current amount of detail that they've heard him talk about. He's also saying it in a somewhat strange way. And right now, they understand what he's talking about. Deku wants to have two plans enabled. And right now, much of it would involve them putting their lives somewhat at stake. However, Deku, he's heading into a sector of space that they know nothing about. They don't know exactly what could be there. They don't know if it's an army, if it's a fucking gas station, or if it's some sort of supply chain. Somewhere where they can drop supplies and leave whenever they are low. Or they have an overabundance of them, and they can drop by and pick them up. Now, this actually is curious to them. And they do somewhat go to agree with Deku. They just want to understand what is happening. Is it possible that this is some place where the Trequa, the Dratex, may pick up supplies? No, wait, was it Dratex or Trequa? A lot of them are kind of confused now. Okay, maybe that actually would help the plan though if they don't know. Okay, so this is interesting then. What is it? What is this place? Now, Deku, he does know that he does have some of their intentions, and he would continue on. Right now his idea is to throw a bone. Try to get the Trequa to follow him. If there are more of them, then they won't hesitate. Or maybe if there's just one, they'll either stay here on Earth and possess somebody of importance, someone at this table, or maybe they'll follow him. They'll still try to come after them. Yes, he has killed Trequa before. In fact, he does know of one he's actually been able to fight back for control. And the other one, he doesn't know if he can count that one. The one with James, that's still debatable. Now, Deku, he hopes that this does work. And right now there actually is whenever they do try to make an announcement about something. And many people from all over, they do start to hear about it. Certain people in certain places, or even certain fields, they actually hear about a certain idea. And right now, they're all learning about this idea to head out into space and strike a blow to something. And the Traquaw, whenever it was possessing somebody, they did actually somewhat hear about this. They overheard something and decided to look into it. And whenever they did actually look into this person's details, they actually were able to find quite a bit. They were told about something that is very, very much secret. And right now at the very center of it, you do actually have Zuko Midoriya. Now, the Traquawn actually is very surprised. This idea that they can get close to that man, and maybe cause harm that way. Maybe if they find him, they'll find this Amelia woman. They have looked into it, and so far, it's getting harder. Their assignment does actually get more annoying. Amelia has been hidden away, and the people who knew, they erased their own memories. They've put psychic barriers on themselves. Whenever they do try and possess that person, there's something in their mind just telling them that there's nothing there. There's just a gap. Now, this does actually surprise the Traquaw. It knew that this species was strange, and so were the humans, but this is a whole new level. And this is something that Deku, he does actually know about. He's made it that way for a reason. Right now, the only people who know where Amelia is him and someone else. However, that person is also with Amelia. And that is where Deku, he does know this bait will work. And we do currently have on a ship that is going to be leaving from Earth. Right now, Deku does welcome on his crew. And there actually is whenever he does welcome Claire onto the ship. Him actually somewhat surprised because she is going to be their resident mechanic. At least one of, let's say at least 3. Now, Deku, he actually does welcome the other 2 mechanics. And whenever he does, he actually does directly greet the Traquaw while it's at the door. Deku shaking its hand and actually asking it about a few things. The person is going to specify their field and a few other things about it. And right now Deku, he actually is somewhat intrigued. This person, they're working with some of the alien tech, and even doing some more research on it. And Deku does want to talk to the person about something he's heard about. And the doctor, they are actually somewhat intrigued. They want to talk to Deku about a few other things they know about. Maybe they can learn this information this guy does have. Learn about exactly what this guy wants to do here. Now, their actions whenever the ship is going to leave. And Deku, he has made much clear. They're going to be attacking something. So they have weapons on board. And they at least have a few other things on board. Right now, that's for Deku to know about. And many people, they're left unaware. Deku, he's done something that is both a little crazy and very impressive. Right now the Traquaw has been lured into a trap, and it itself doesn't even know it. However, there is also a problem with that. And we do have, whenever Deku and everybody, they do blast off into space. And Deku, he actually is able to put the coordinates in, and then set the ship AI to actually direct this vessel. And Deku, he does get to greet the AI, as it does explain to him the current course, and exactly how long it would take this vessel to arrive there. Now, Deku, he actually has listened to the AI, as it is expressed to Deku that it will take about a month to fully arrive at the current place. And in this amount of time, they believe that it would also be a month trip. And Deku, he's alarmed by that. 2 months out in space. That is not something he wants to do. However, this place, if it's far enough away, maybe... Shit. No, okay. Okay. deal with the Traquaw, and then head back home. No, fuck, okay. This is a Dratic's place. Maybe if it's something important, it will be worth it. Would she understand, though? I mean, 2 months and she'd be halfway. No, fuck. That's not right. No, she'd be. Deku trying to count. Okay, so would it be early? No, not early fifth. Early at least month four. Okay, so late. Deku trying to figure that math out in his head, and he's still trying to understand it. This is gonna be a lot more annoying than you'd think. If he's able to kill this thing within 2 weeks, maybe he can make it back to Earth. Take a smaller vessel and ride that out. Yeah, it might be uncomfortable being in a small ship, but I mean, you know, he gets back. Now, we do currently have a bit of time later, where everybody they've gotten settled in, and a lot of people they're currently sitting down at a table. And among the humans and Etzos, there actually are some humans, or, well, humanoids. There actually is the fact that a Devrix, they wanted to come aboard, and they wanted to actually use this time to study these biological species in a somewhat confined environment. They've at least expressed this idea of being able to observe humans, not only in certain cities, but also being able to monitor a lot of things. And yeah, they had to deny that. Yes, while understanding how humans would work, there is the fact that that would invade their privacy, and they'd rather avoid having that happen. Now, the Devrix, they understand this whole concept that humans do have. Apparently, many species do have this idea of it. They don't like constantly being looked at or observed, or even interacted with. And humanity being one of those species, with the way their evolutionary stage has been and the way they currently are in their, the way they act, it does sort of make sense for them to have that. Very hostile, suspicious, paranoid. However, that has all been for the survival of their own species. And they still have yet to reach that, well, utopia stage in their own evolution. However, maybe that might happen far more, well, fast than they did realize. Humanity did allow the Etzos to settle on Earth. So, while there is still violence on the planet, the first encounter went well. Now, that's something that they do try to focus on. And the Devrix, they are actually quite intrigued. Then, there actually is another member of the Alien Council who is here. One of the people from the humanoid planets. And right now, they actually are sitting at a table with the Devrix. And they're talking about exactly what they believe these aliens are going to be doing here. Ah, yes. Well, Avisa, that is quite hard to say. Ah, well, yes, that does seem true, but what do you believe is going to be difficult to understand? Well, these aliens. They are currently, from my understanding of human culture, muscle heads, if that is the correct term? It does appear to be. Their physical appearances are quite large, and from my understanding, full of mass. Yes, that is something that I've seen upon initial observation. These do appear to be military personnel. Yes. However, this species is quite strange. Hmm? What do you mean? Well, I am not too sure. My people, we have evolved differently. We didn't evolve from what they know as a primate. Hmm. However, it does explain many things. Many things? Oh, yes. This is something that I must explain. Well, their species evolved from a primitive life form on their own planet. And with a life form it is something that we do sort of believe to understand. It's quite different. Whenever my people's evolutionary ancestor first came to land, they became some of the first life forms on my planet to breathe the oxygen. At least how they would phrase it. Hmm, that is quite strange. If I'm correct, some of the first creatures to come out of their oceans were quite primitive. And they were, if I'm correct, some sort of reptile equivalent? Something like that, if I'm right? Hmm, perhaps. However, on my planet, our life is different. Bioluminescent creatures. I see. Now, the person does go on and explain it. As you do actually have Deku who does come walking into the room and sitting down with both of these two. As he does go stare at the woman to his left. Deku is quite surprised. This current alien species, they're blue, and their hair actually is of a white variety. It does seem strange. Yes, this person did want to visit humanity and see about their people. They wanted to know more about another alien species that's humanoid. And while they are trying to learn more about these species, because the fact is that they can cohabitate and live together, is the fact that many of them, they actually are helping quite a bit of things. Basically their own galactic trade. Now, they want to know what humanity both does has to offer and what they can learn about the species. Undocumented territory with a species is something that this person's dream of having would be. Whenever they learned much about it, much about aliens, they've had that for thousands of years. However, it's been a long time since they've been able to actually talk to a species without biosuits or, well, strange ways of putting it, not being able to wear a rebreather, because sometimes that does actually interfere with her species' way of talking. Now, this is something that Deku, he does hear about, and he at least does talk about how it is actually sometimes strange trying to communicate with Amelia, because there actually was whenever he had to remember, he wasn't talking with his mouth. Sometimes he would just mouth the words where he was thinking them, because he forgot about it sometimes. And whenever he did actually get that pointed out to him, he did fix it. However, he still does sometimes think about it and laugh. And the person can somewhat agree. Deku's species is quite strange. And Deku, he is thinking that the person, they're obviously weirded out by him. However, the lady's skin actually is starting to glow into different colors whenever she does start to talk. And Deku, yeah, he's trying his best to keep focused. However, that is actually somewhat quite surprising. Now, with that being said, we actually do also at least have Denki, who he does come welcome to Deku and sit down. And he does at least ask him about what he thinks they're gonna do. Hmm? Hey Denki. Hey. Um, who's the rainbow light chick? Uh, I believe her name was Visa. That would be correct. Yes. Uh, hi. Hello. It is nice to meet you. Hi. Why are you... Is it insulting to ask about... Oh, a little bit, yes, but you did ask about that, so I will disregard it. Cool. How are you doing that? Hmm? Oh, um, well, my species, we vibrate our molecules sometimes, and we talk using this method. You talk. Yes, there is a strange organ. S- Um, no, that's not right. It's more like an No, that's not right either. Those those things aren't used for the same thing as theirs. Uh, are you okay? Yes, just trying to think about it more and explain it in a way that would not cause confusion. Um, okay, is it made from different things as your organs or no, it isn't. It's very similar. So it's essentially just your voice box. Um, what? Yeah. I mean, Denki bring his hand up to his neck, talking about how their voice box. And Deku is going to point out to Denki that he's putting his hand in the wrong spot. Uh, am I? A little lower? Lower? Yeah, right there. Now, Denki, he does talk about how this spot right here, it does actually vibrate. And, well, right now, there actually is the fact that it actually is something that they do use very often. However, it actually isn't the fact that they have to develop it. Some humans, yeah, they can have problems speaking. However, it's a rare condition. Now, Denki, he does start to at least try and go off on a little bit of a tangent, trying to help the alien continue their explanation. And the alien, they actually do quite appreciate what Denki's doing. However, he does seem to have his way of communicating. And it does seem to be quite strange. He says something, and he doesn't seem to know what he's talking about. They're sometimes the same thing. Now, they do actually at least somewhat laugh at that. And Deku, he is surprised where the person they did laugh, they actually go to turn bright purple. Now, that was surprising to him, as he does at least ask Denki exactly if he has a minute to talk. Yeah. What is it? I'm going to stand up. And Deku and Denki do go to walk into the corridor, as Deku, he does go to somewhat look behind him. And everybody, they are either doing their own thing in conversation or looking at Deku. And Deku, whenever he does at least go to look at those people, because they were staring at him, they did at least somewhat try and talk to him, asking exactly what him and Denki are going to be doing. Because they thought that they might have been heading for the area or the place where they would entertain themselves. But entertain themselves. Now, everybody, they are basically told that no, they're just going to be chatting. And some people do go back to what they're doing. And Deku, he does watch that. Whenever him and Denki are actually in the hallway, there is whenever Deku does ask Denki if he is possessed by a Trequa. What? Why would I just hand out that information? It was worth a shot? Okay, so explain. I'm curious, so I'm gonna read your mind. If you're possessed, I'll be able to tell. I'd rather you not. Denki, it's either that, or I'm suspicious of you, and I might punch you in the face. Okay, go ahead and read my mind. Deku going to do so. Whenever he actually is able to piece together some of Denki's thoughts, not only look at his confusion and look at something that is mildly embarrassing, there actually is whenever Deku does at least talk about how Denki, he's cleared. However, he does need to be aware. They are going to need to have a word that means something else. And they need to say the word that they're talking about. What? Okay, take two words that mean the same thing. That's what I'm talking about. So I say something that means something else? Or something? Yeah, okay, that works. Anyways, Denki, just, I'll know it's you and it's something I can keep an eye on. Okay, so what else then? Okay, so wait a minute. Why would you think I'm. You think someone on board's a Trequa? Yeah, so it finally clicked. Now I know it's you. Okay, stupid jokes aside, you know somebody's a Trequa on board. Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah. Okay, hang on. Okay, do you think the aliens aboard the ship? And they're going to try and attack us? Yeah, I do. Which is why I've hidden some stuff on board. Okay, hang on. What did you bring on board? That's for me to know. However, I put one on your bed earlier. So just look under your pillow. Okay, okay, hang on. You brought a Traqua weapon on board? I brought a few things on board, yes. What else did you bring? That's for me to know. Anyways, just just keep an eye out for it, alright? And that alien chick, I mean, good luck. Just be careful with that. Now, Deku is gonna walk away. And he does try to at least think about what he's gonna be doing to make sure his plan does work. Right now the Traqua should be on board. And he's gonna need to either catch it or hope it doesn't destroy the supplies they're taking with them. And right now, Deku, he is somewhat smiling. He's a few steps ahead of this thing. It is surprisingly easy to fool an alien whenever it doesn't exactly know what's going on. The Traqua, yeah, they don't exactly know what it means or monitor what happens whenever somebody does change the tone of their voice. And he actually does think about that. These things used to be able to talk the way they did. However, whenever they took on those forms, it wasn't really talking anymore. It was almost like communicating through a radio. The fuzziness of it and the, well, noise of it, it just seemed like telepathy and, well, annoying noises. That's all he can really describe it as. They don't fully understand it. They just don't listen to the pitch of your voice. So, I almost said peach. They don't listen to the pitch of your voice and focus on that. They just try to make sure you're talking. Now, Deku, he actually is happy about that. He can fool this thing by speaking strangely. It's stupid, but a surprising weakness. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.